Today we are going to be finding the area of composite figures. So what is a composite figure? It's a figure that is made up of more than one shape, like we see down here. But before we begin, there's one area formula we have not learned yet, which is area of a triangle. So copy that down. It's base times height divided by 2. So how are we going to find the area of this composite figure? Well, we need to find the area of each shape separately that makes up the shape, the figure, and then we're going to add them together. So for my example down here, I'm going to take the rectangle first. So in your notes, draw a small rectangle. Oops, sorry guys. I'm clicking all over the place. And remember the formula is, write the formula down next to it, formula for a rectangle is base times height. And if I look up top here, the base of this rectangle is 24 feet. And the height is 6 feet. So in my formula, I'm going to plug that in, 24 times 6, and I get 144 feet squared for the area of that rectangle. Now my second shape, I've already shown you the formula by accident, is a triangle. My mouse is having some troubles today, so I'm going to bring that triangle down. And remember, base and height are the two lines that make the right angle. So when I look up here, my base is 5, my height is 6. So when I plug those into my formula, area equals 6 times 5 divided by 2, and I get 15 feet squared. Now I'm going to take the second triangle, bring it down. They look the same, but I got to make sure. So again, base times height, so the base of that triangle is 5 feet, and the height is this line right here, which matches up with the 6 feet. So write down my formula, base times height divided by 2. Plug in my 6 times my 5 divided by 2. I get 15 again. And now I'm going to add them all together, and I get 174 feet squared. Now I know you can't see that, so I'm going to tilt down the camera so you can see it. Pause up the video if you need to catch up with me. And now we're going to move on to our second shape. So this shape is made up of 3 shapes. I'm going to start with my rectangle first, which is right here. And I need to make mine a lot smaller to fit over here. So there's my rectangle. And remember, formula for a rectangle, base times height. So if I look up here, my base is this line right here, which matches up with 2.5. My height is this side or this side, but if I look over here, there's no numbers. But when I look over here, I've got 2 sets of numbers. I got from here to here, which is 8, and then I have here to here, which is 6. So when I put the 8 and the 6 together, I get 14. So 14 times 2.5, multiply that out, and I get 35 centimeters squared. Now my second shape I'm going to use is my square. And formula for a square is base times height, or since the base and the height are the same, it's just side squared. So when I come up top, my rectangle is 6 centimeters. So 6 squared gives me 36 centimeters squared for my area of my square. And my last shape is a tricky one because it's a half circle. So remember, the formula for a circle is pi r squared. But I don't want a whole circle, I just want half of the circle. So I've got to do pi times r squared divided by 2 because it's a half circle. So I have to divide it by 2. So when I look up top here, the only thing I know about the circle is this line right here, which is 2.5, and that is the diameter. I don't want the diameter, I want the radius. So if I take 2.5 and I divide it by 2, I get a radius of 1.25. So I'm going to use that 1.25 in my formula. So remember, for pi, we're using 3.14 times the 1.25 squared divided by 2. I'm going to slide that down some. And when I put that in my calculator, I get 2.45 centimeters squared. And I want to add them together, so I'm going to slide this all down. Oh, let me slide it back up a second. My pictures took up a little bit more space than I wanted. So I'm going to add them together. And when I add them together, I get 73.45 centimeters squared. So that's the area of the whole shape. So what I'd like you to do is to try this one on your own. Pause up the video and try it on your own. Now, check your answer. Remember, if you have any questions, bring them to class tomorrow.